up, friends? It's ADHD Dude back with another video. Today we will be talking about the bane of my existence. Organization. Now, for most people with ADHD, it seems like organization is a very difficult thing to accomplish because you just can't focus as easily on topics and activities and getting things done or being organized, making sure everything has a place and everything is in its place. For me, I've been trying my hardest to get more organized. And as with one of my previous videos, the way that I've been trying to do that is with my bullet journal. Now, since the last video, I have been changing things about it in order to try to be more organized. And one of the changes that's probably most visible from the outside is the fact that I added colored tabs to represent different things. The blue tab is the next empty page. Yellow is school, green is writing, and then red is trackers. Like, for example, red marks my period tracker, my tracker for my daily goals, which I've been better about actually keeping track of. And then it also marks my weekly that I started, along with the monthly stuff that I have started. Now, in my previous video, I talked about how my bullet journal is not like one of those pretty, like, aesthetic ones that everyone is jealous of. I'm honestly trying to make it prettier and more fun and be able to, like, do more. Now, one thing I've been doing with my bullet journal since the last video is the fact that I've been doing the monthly trackers. Like, here's the front page for February, and I made it so that I have a monthly thing to tell me, like, oh, here's when my period's due, here's when my tests and quizzes are, here's holiday, Valentine's Day. That's a thing this month. Got a mood tracker so that I can kind of track how my meds make me feel and just how I feel on an average basis, because I feel like that might make psychiatrist appointments a bit easier. And then one thing that I did that I was not a huge fan of, but I don't exactly regret, was that I did it in 8-day chunks for the weeks. Weird, I know. So it's like the 1st through the 8th, and they're all the same. They're all just like the same setup. Then the 9th through the 16th, 17th through 24th, and then the 25th through 28th. And at the end of this, since I still had about half the page left, I decided I was going to add some notes to myself and then my goals for the month. In case any of you guys are wondering, my goals for the month are stay on top of work, don't fall behind, make more friends, and get more sleep. Because I need to do that. Then for March is a bit different. Like, I still need to decorate the page, but this is my month for March starter page. And then I still have, like, the monthly, I still have the mood tracker, and this time I did it more like the actual weeks, like, oh yeah, here was what the first week of March is these 2 days. It's Saturday, Friday and Saturday of March, and then on that page is where I put the goals, because there's most of the page left. And then the way I did it, which I'm probably going to end up changing for April whenever I eventually set that up, is that I went Sunday through Saturday, and Friday and Saturday are smaller blocks. I'll probably end up wanting to change that to be like, so that it goes Monday through Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday are the two broken up blocks. But it's all the same, other than for the instead of doing the 24th through 30th and then the 31st getting its very own page, because I think that's just a waste of space, I just have 2 blocks broken up so that it's the 28th through the 31st across the bottom in the smaller chunks. Now, with this, I've been trying to get more organized, and my big problem was the fact that I am bad about using a planner. I have tried so many times to use a planner, and I just always end up forgetting. I'm just forgetting that it exists, forgetting to write down assignments, that it ends up just turning into a giant hot mess. And so I'm hoping that by kind of, slapping my bullet journal and planner together, that I will be more organized. Like, you guys probably saw this whenever I showed you the February starter page, but I have an upcoming appointments page for, like, my psych appointments, my dentist appointments, eye doctor appointments. I have 3 more that are blank because I don't know what other appointments I really have at the moment. But it'll get filled out probably eventually. But I've been trying to hope that this can get me more organized and actually staying on top of things and getting work done when it needs to get done. Another way that I've been trying to get organized was last semester. Through the semester, there are some differences in what is in my book bag. Like, in the What's in My Book Bag video, I talked about my binder, and how I have tabs for each class, and then I have stuff behind those tabs, and I think this is a great thing to do instead of having, like, notebooks for each class with you all the time, is just having a binder with some loose leaf paper in the back, because then you can take your notes here, go home, go back to your dorm room, go back to your apartment, go back to wherever the heck it is that you live, and then you have your actual notebooks at home, where you can then copy the notes into so that it actually is legible and nice looking, and everything just ends up being more organized, because I've noticed that when I take notes in class, things sometimes don't exactly make sense. Because, like, the professor or teacher will be, like, jumping back and forth between things, like, oh yeah, write this up on the board, and I copy it down and be like, oh, we'll come back to this later. And so, like, the actual work for that is, like, 2 pages of notes later. And it just doesn't really make sense. And so, by copying it down loosely and then transferring it into a notebook, you can kind of then reorganize where things are so that it makes more logical sense to you and how you learn. So that's another way I've been trying to organize that in this way. I originally had an accordion folder, which I honestly don't know where that went. I lost it. But that was just kind of bulky, a little too bulky for me. And it was just a little inconvenient with the fact that I had a zippered one, so like things couldn't fall out and it wouldn't break. But a zippered thing was very inconvenient, because then if it was like silent in the room and I had to get something out, it'd be like very loud. And it would draw so much attention to me that I was not about. So I really try to get away from that. And I've been trying to be more organized with things. I have, on my desk, there's the actual like desktop, and there's a shelf above it. That shelf is a mess. It's a disaster. I'm trying to get better about it. It's not going great, but I'm honestly trying. And I've been trying to figure out more ways to be organized. Like, for example, last night I reorganized part of my closet to be able to like make more space, to be able to hang stuff up. I pulled out clothes and shoved them into bags of clothes that I don't wear, so that whenever my mom comes and picks me up for my appointment next week, I can just like bring the clothes and have her take them back home, so that I don't have them anymore since I don't need them, because I don't wear them. So, one way that I've been organizing my clothes is that I have a weird way of storing my socks. Okay, so, as I said, I store my socks in a very strange manner. First things first is, y'all are probably going to judge me, but it's not a terrible idea. So I know a lot of people who like store their socks in their drawers, and it takes up a lot of space with like their underwear, if they have bras, those, pants, shorts, pajamas, whatever else they keep in those drawers. So my solution, that I got the idea from my sister, because my sister originally had the idea, but what I did was I took on my socks and I put them in a cheese ball container. You can see in the container that for the most part they're just kind of like paired up and like shoved into each other. And at the bottom, you can see that they're rolled into little balls. Like, if I can dig one out, it's a pair of socks that's rolled together so that it takes up like, I don't know if it takes up less space, but it makes it more convenient to be able to like dig through and find. But I'm also lazy, and doing this takes more time than I have the energy for sometimes, and so it's just kind of become a mess of bald socks and then just a sock shoved into itself. But eventually I want to get back into doing this with all of my socks because it's a lot more convenient and it's a lot easier, and they all seem to fit better into this container. But this has been a good way for me to be able to store my socks, because then I can have it somewhere. It's not taking up drawer space because I have too many clothes to have all these socks taking up drawer space. But it's been a good way for me to try to keep things more organized so that there's less clutter in drawers and things just look nicer, in my opinion. So that's how I organize my socks. The way that I organize my shirts is that it's fairly simple. Before I took all my tank tops off, I went tank tops, the shirts that I wear, followed by my short sleeve button downs, followed by my flannel, followed by my nice shirts, followed by jackets, and whatever the heck else I have hung up at the back. So that way it's kind of in each section, so I have to go, oh, okay, where's a t-shirt? And it's like in between two flannels, and it's just a mess. So I've been trying to do that. And then also in my closet, I have my, like, thinner 3-drawer bin. Well, not even 3-drawer bin. It's my smaller 3 drawers that were supplied by the university. So in the top drawer, I have, like, underwear and stuff to that extent. Second drawer down is pajamas. Third drawer down is shorts and stuff like that. And then I have this hanging cube organizer. It's just a bunch of squares going down, and on the top one I have all my jeans because they didn't fit in the pants drawer. I have too many pants, too many shorts, and the jeans took up a lot of space. And so that's where those are. Maybe I'll make a video just of like a tour of my side of the room, and I'll show you guys the inside of my closet so you can understand better what I'm talking about. But for now, we'll leave it at that, and I will move on to the next order of business. So one way that people try to stay organized is with calendars. Now, I bought this calendar at the beginning of the semester when I was going shopping with my mother to pick up groceries and school supplies that I might need. So I got this calendar that hangs nicely on my wall on a command hook. Now, it's February 1st, but we're going to go back to January. And honestly, I didn't really put a whole lot on here. It's just more like, oh, class is resumed. There's no class. I'm over at a friend's house. I'm hanging out with a friend. Stuff is due. That's supposed to be a workshop, but it got canceled because Wednesday classes were canceled, along with the short story being moved to this Monday. Now, as you can see, the only thing currently on February is my math test on the 13th, because math is red, history is orange, American Sign Language is green, and then creative writing is purple. Because that way I can just write, oh, test, and I'll know what class it is based on what color it is. Because that way things are color coordinated, it's easier to find, it's easier to locate than rather saying, oh, math test, sign language quiz. It's just too much writing. It's easier just to use colors and say, like, quiz, test, this is due, this is not due, there's no class for this class, etc. So I've been trying to use a calendar to write down important dates. I still need to, as you can see, transfer everything for February from my bullet journal onto the calendar. But I've been trying to do that in order to get more organized, because I forget when things are due in this way. If I'm sitting at my desk, I can just look over and see, oh, here's when this is due, because I forgot. So I'd say that's probably about it for this video, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.